Right on cue. All right. Good morning, everyone, or good day, whatever time you happen to be watching this. Hello, YouTube. I forgot to. Never mind. As you can see, I'm currently wearing my astronaut gib outfit, whatever it is. Anyhow, I am actually back at the Kennedy Space Center for the next 2 weeks. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what is currently going on. But long story short, it looks like my hopes of getting back into software development may be hindered. I had applied for a position with Spirion for a software development job that had come up. And of course they do the background check and all the nasty stuff shows up again. And once again, that is keeping me from gainful employment, which the court keeps saying, you can do it, you can, but the system is set up so that once you get into the system and the information is out there, whether it's accurate or not, it affects you the rest of your life. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm going to go ahead and continue pressing forward and taking the online classes to try to get my skills up to date, because I may be able to do some freelance work or, you know, contract type work, depending on who is contracting and whether or not they care. So that's going to be my goal. In the meantime, I will continue to keep working on the YouTube and the YouTube videos and doing the part-time gigs that I can find as a temp until I can try to get a more permanent position. You can see they kind of finally issued me a hat. I normally don't wear a hat, but I wanted to put that on for you just to show you what I look like with the completed outfit. Sometimes they have me wear a hairnet, and hairnets I think look pretty dorky on a guy. But then I was talking to some of the other girls and they say it looks pretty dorky on the girls too. So maybe hairnets look bad on everybody. Anyhow, I am heading out right now. I think it is 405. I keep getting the name of this street, this road mixed up. No, it's 405 or 407. I think it's 405. The road that leads, the causeway that leads right out to Kennedy Space Center. But I wanted to point out something that I thought was interesting and sad at the same time. I found a new park where I was using as a pseudo base to cook some food this morning. Did a cooking episode with some rice and salami, cotto salami, because there's electricity there and a bathroom and water, basically a place for somebody to reset if they had to. You could kind of brush your teeth, clean up and whatnot if you had to go to work, which is what I was using it for. Even though I could do it the same at Planet Fitness. But interestingly, while I was there, I saw several other people pull up, and one of them was a guy who was probably my age or maybe a little bit older, possibly a little bit younger, I don't know. But I'd say he's at least 40 plus years old, maybe in his 50s, even possibly in his 60s. And he came in, and I could tell he was living out of his vehicle because it was stuffed with clothes and all the other stuff that's in there. You know, when somebody had to move out and take whatever they could, which is mostly clothing. And he's living out of his car, not even a van, which to me is really sad because, you know, a car doesn't have much room at all. And he came in, you know, looking a little bit disheveled, and then he quickly put on a shirt, it looked like a uniform, and a little bag, I guess his toothbrush and other stuff, and ran into the bathroom to clean himself up. And then he came out all nice looking, all clean looking in a uniform, ready to go to work. I don't know if you know the significance of that, but that is a man my age, roughly, who, like me, is in a uniform and looks nice and clean right now, getting ready to go into work and living out of a vehicle. If that doesn't sink in yet, then you probably don't understand. A lot of people who are now reduced to living out of their vehicle, they haven't totally lost their job. You know, they're still trying to make it, can be working and still not afford to live. It's not like, you'll see the people who stand on the street corners and beg, okay, they're the ones who've given up. They may not even have a vehicle anymore at that point. Although some of those people that stand on the street corners and beg, that is their job. They're not even really homeless. They might even have a really nice house, really nice cars and stuff. Because, you know, I've heard from some of those people who do that they can make upwards of $200 to $500 a day. $200 to $500 a day standing on a street corner somewhere begging. It's usually helpful if you have a little kid with you, or if you have a dog, if you look all disheveled, you know. So the ones you see that are working in uniform and looking clean, they're not making enough money. You know, it's like the kind of jobs that are available for people at this level who have no longer have the capacity to try to take a professional job. We're reduced to like manual labor type stuff that pays just minimum wage or a little bit over minimum wage. Then after taxes and wage garnishments and everything else that occurs with somebody who may be in this position, you're left earning maybe about, I'm going to take a rough guess, anywhere from $12 to $30 a day or less to live off. And from that money, you've got to use it on gasoline, which you're using a lot. The guy looked fairly clean, so I'm thinking he probably has a place where he can wash up, possibly Planet Fitness, you know. But he didn't sleep at the Planet Fitness. He didn't sleep, I don't know where he slept, but he came to the park where I was and used the bathroom there to get himself cleaned up and came out all nice and sharp looking. You could not tell that he was homeless or living out of his vehicle. Just like I'm sure a lot of people who encounter me, if they didn't know that this channel existed and stuff, they would think, you know, everything was fine and dandy because I look, you see, I'm official looking right now. I'm clean, I'm somewhat clean shaven, and I take a shower generally every day. I try to take a shower every day when I can. I have Planet Fitness, use the soap, shave, brush my teeth, clean myself, and for all intents and purposes, I don't look homeless, and that's what allows me to work. But you know, if something were to happen, like to my vehicle or whatnot, and I didn't have a ride anymore, I could end up totally on the streets and not have the capacity to work. Then potentially end up as those people who end up begging. But I don't think I would ever get to that. I pray that I don't, you know, get to that. But that's why when you see me dealing with the homeless, you see me trying to help them, even though some people feel that, you know, they're like, Denoy, you don't really have much, you know, more than they do, and they get services and stuff. Well, I don't know. All I know is I ask them if they're hungry, and if they're hungry, I try to give them food, especially hot food that I just cooked up. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the episode where I did the ribs. You know, I cooked up some ribs a while back and had a bunch left over. So I was going to do a mukbang with the leftover ribs, but then I was driving that night, you know, that afternoon, and I saw two homeless people. Well, they assumed they were homeless, who was on the street corners begging. And I asked them if they would like some food, and they said yeah. So I gave them all my ribs, not all, but most of the ribs. Kept a couple for myself. It was so good. But I gave them a bunch of the ribs and some soda, so they could have at least, you know, a decent meal. Because I'm sure that if they're truly homeless and the money they beg, they're using it to buy stuff like pizza or hamburgers or something, you know, which could sustain you, but isn't really the best food. Now, I don't know where they go, because I've never really followed them to see where they go after they leave that spot, but I've seen them a lot. And there's like, not just one, there's like a whole group. They rotate. They go and they sit at a specific spot to beg. It's almost like a job. Every day you'll see them there. And I think there's like anywhere from 3 to 5 of them. I know there's 2 that I see all the time, this guy and this girl. Sometimes I see like 1 or 2 others there, and sometimes they have a dog there with them. You know, it tugs more at people's hearts when they see a homeless guy with a dog, and the dog looks like he's possibly hungry, and so people give him money or food or whatever. So I don't know, maybe they make a living like that. I don't intend to do that. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'd rather be in the woods somewhere and live off the land as best as I can. And you know, if I'm not able to survive out there, then that's my fate. You know, you do the best you can with what you have, and then I guess pray for the best, hope for the best. But the point I was trying to make in all this is when somebody works and is and like even full time, if you were working in Brevard County, if you just do the math of how much it costs, like rent right now is as high as about roughly for a single room in this area. If you rent a house, a shared house, and you just get in a room, you might be able to get away and get one for about $600 to $600. If you want your own place, then you're looking at about $1,000 to $1,600 for one bedroom apartment. Okay, if you do the math at $1,600 or even $1,200, a person that is working full-time 40 hours a week, making minimum wage, which is pretty much what they pay around here in Florida, when you're doing this kind of job, manual labor or daily work, daily pay, or, you know, it's not like if you were like a tractor operator or whatever, you might get a little more. If you were an electrician, you can get more, like a trade skill. But if you don't have any of those skills, then you defaulted to just labor, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm here doing food services, although they have me run some of the attractions and whatnot. So, you know, it's not enough for you to even afford a place. And then if you throw on top of that any bills and stuff that they pull out automatically, like in my case, wage garnishments for child support and whatnot, and you can see why I have the issues that I have right now.